Well, hello again and welcome to All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, the artist behind the channel, and this week is another explore, play, and discover. And I did a lot of discovering. As you can see, we've got a very, very bright page. I didn't even bother to to tape it because this is explore, play, and discover. It's not intended as a final piece. So I'm sort of changing that. As you can see, I saw another artist doing this, and I've experimented with different papers, but this is using the palette paper and it's mono printing. But first, I just felt the need to tone down the bright colors. What I regret now, and will remember for the next page, next whatever, is I should have left some saturated along with some unsaturated. And you could have used blue. You could have used many, many other values. I just chose white because I used it before. So that's in my toolbox. So we're building our toolbox right now during this explore, play, and discover. So I never ended up using this, but this is, as I'm showing you, tissue paper painted with a mix of the gloss medium and acrylic, and it becomes very transparent. It's almost like a skin. It's really cool. But now that I've just learned how to do those, now I want to make them better. I want to make them more interesting. I want to make them me. Now for the mono printing. So this is just, I'm using the fluid. I might use a thicker paint next time, but I thought I want to just make marks on the palette paper, which I previously just cut out into small, medium, and large shapes. So I'm just flipping it over, and I am loving the mark it makes. You can get 2 or 3 out of them. Notice I'm changing direction, adding a difference. And I thought, well, let's just put this little piece in. And I'm really not doing a lot of thinking here. This was a play with, ooh, what if I started with this really bright page and then see what I can do with it. It ended up quite garish, I would say, maybe not, but you know, I'm just looking at it. I have it beside me here, and I can tweak by pushing back with glazing, which is another technique, and it would definitely help it out, and it helps create these really cool shapes that you would never think of. So here is the other wedge, catalyst wedge with the teeth. Loving that. So you know what you might want to do, and I think I'm going to do, is just get a bunch of paper, just blank paper, printing paper, use black and white, and just experiment with the kind of marks that you want to make. All of those pages that you see under my hand, that is the fabulous old book that I said I got from the bookstore. The paper is like a vellum. It is so thin and transparent that that's, well, the only reason I bought it, and it's large. It's almost like a 9 by 10, whatever the size of the sketchbook is. It is 9 by 12. So very handy, and that's it there. It's just so transparent. But if you want to see anything underneath it at all, which is, you don't have to, I just grab this bright old envelope. It's in my scrap bin, which is right there. And if I don't have anything, I'm just going to do a video just with your scraps. And I just started, as you can see, here comes the black. Everybody panic. No, it's just a contrast. It's a dark. So I might start using a dark blue. And I think I'm going to start doing that because I want to start my blue larger paintings. I grabbed orange. I could have grabbed the pink. As you can see, I added a little too much black to that. And I'm just moving it around with the color shapers. So now it got muddy. And I used to be so afraid of the mud, but it's so cool. So it's an unsaturated color or tone or a value, unsaturated value. And color, no, because value is light and dark. I'll get that straight, don't worry. And next to something that's saturated, and that's what I was playing with. So I thought, okay, I need more line. I saw the blue, like a hole in the middle, but that gets covered up after, so don't worry. Could have did black right in there as well, or even that muddy color mixed with the blue. That would have been really cool. So as you can see, I thought I had enough stuff. I'm trying to simplify my collage selection at the beginning, and I am, and it is helping. Keeping it simple does help. What do you think? Do you keep it simple, especially when you're just having a play, in your Explore, Play, and Discover journal? I know this is the big one, and on my intro, I use my little one. It's just that it's really fast, and I think I'll jump back to that as well and just start filling it up with mark making, playing. Just doing that is fun. So I guess in my video, which is totally fine, I don't mind not cutting out some of the drawing because then it gives me more time to chat with you. So this is another piece of it's tissue paper pattern that I bought at Michael's. Love the black random dots and did the same treatment with it. The medium gloss, the regular one. It's a fluid medium, by the way, not a regular medium. Has to be fluid. Spread that on with alizarin, nickel azo gold, and because it's very transparent, and you can see all the cool marks under there. But what I find I tend to do, I get so wrapped up in transparency, you forget other things. Transparency is good, but along with opacity is even better. So that's why this piece works, black and white, and I'm sort of recovering the initial black and whites that I wanted, but it got a little soiled, but I just wipe it off. And just learning and building my repertoire of layering sequences, types of papers that I'm using, and learning why it works and why it doesn't work. How can I make it work? Leave it alone, that kind of thing. Putting dots with other things. So just paying attention afterwards, looking at it, and then of course writing those notes down. So I won't do it now because of course I'm doing the voiceover. And I don't know why I just wanted to not worry and just grabbed a bright color. Now that orange circle is a piece of palette paper left over, and sometimes I spread all the colors out with my brayer, and then you can cut out some really cool shapes with the paint on it. This neutral color was good, but I didn't like what it was doing. It was just but I could have tore it and used the piece of the paper itself. Some more neutral, unsaturated in there would have looked really cool. So as you can see, there's that real thin vellum paper, and I'm trying to put it in, but we need something a little more quiet down things. And I love the size of that there and how it's slightly transparent. Very cool. Yeah, I needed to trim that down, and I end up using that piece. Oh yeah, I used it in the upper right-hand corner, but then I tore it because I held my brush down at too sharp of an angle, and the metal part of the brush that I love to use tends to tear, so I got to pay attention to that. That turquoise would have been just crazy. Whew, excuse me, it's been such a long day. I've been exploring and playing with another series, my abstract landscape series, but collage. Oh yeah, so much to do, such little time. I'm on a countdown. Now I like that orange now. Maybe not the actual color of that orange, but I like how it jumped forward and erased that hole. So an opaque value, maybe light, that nice neutral, would have been nice to have near the pink, or near a saturated color. So of course, and I'm being careful, making sure layers are dry before I use my Posca markers, because you can really ruin them if you drag your Posca markers through some medium. Now, could have went that way. That would have worked too, but I thought, no, let's go vertical for a change. Let's do something different. And it is sort of cool because I have some horizontal there with those dashes. And those are the kinds of things that I'm going to be making. I am right down to like almost zero blue collage. And I'm scrounging. So when you're scrounging, it's hard to be creative. So there goes that other piece of tissue paper on top. Just mark with a fan brush and some black fluid paint. And I use that a lot. See, so I had it there, and then I realized, well, yeah, half of it's on my brush. Where'd it go? That's okay. So then I just pick up another semi-transparent, because I just wanted something subtle up there in that corner. And I love those black on neutral paper circles, how they're sort of weaving. They're not totally straight. They're sort of wonky with the black polka dots. Similar value going on. And okay. Oh, okay. So my attempt to use a light value to quiet things down. Should have used the black. Now that I see that. Or even left a black edge on the far right. Very thin, which would have been an interesting... that's very interesting. I wish I left it. So now I'm covering everything up. So you see, this is how you can get carried away. That's not bad. And then you can wipe away and expose what you want. So veiling is great. So now I've created this great big rectilinear shape inside this page, which is really cool. And oh, I so needed that quinacridone magenta. Another fave. Very transparent, translucent, I mean. So punching up the color. Liking that. And I didn't want, I just sort of horizontal, vertical, my little ladder thing that I do. And I'm just wiping up any excess. Now I do a big mono print at the end in white, but just because I was overly conscious of using black, shoulda, coulda, woulda, did black. It would have been cool, but it's okay. I'm just going to write those notes. See, it's even making things like this. It's like, oh, well, black really works. And then you know to do it next time. And it obviously it works because you know how and why you're using it. It's just great. More tools in your toolbox. So I hope you're enjoying this series, Explore, Play, and Discover. Please leave a comment if you've been exploring and playing and discovering new things. I will be showing and demonstrating next week a variety of collage papers that I will show you how to create. And then the following week, I will show you how I use them. Probably different starts, a much more explicit demonstration, more of a tutorial. And this is what I meant. I'm just wondering if it would have been right there. But just the mark it leaves, it is amazing. You could do anything. So then I went crazy, drawing that up because it's thick. So you can go really thin. And now I'm wondering, oh wow, monoprinting your collage papers after you've used the jelly plate with that would be just endless. Possibilities are endless. So now it just looks like, whoa, a great big page full of all sorts of things. So this is the ugly stage. I'm getting used to the ugly stage. Didn't always, like it. So it needs something counteracting that upper left-hand corner. And if you've ever used just colored tissue paper, it is fabulous. It just adds this wonderful color. Now, why didn't I use paint that way? Well, I don't know. That's what I'm going to start learning. I'm going to say, well, if this piece of tissue works really well, what kind of a paint layer could I use instead? So you see how I used the whole circle? Now that I saw the little glimpse of just the half, it would have been better and not so overbearing. But I just chose to put it there, maybe because I wanted to cover all that white. And that's okay. So now we have this growth on this square, which is totally fine. And we can change that by maybe changing the color, pushing that, or bringing it forward, the white on the right-hand side of that circle. We could use black. As you can see, having lots of fun. Oh, and here comes the glazing. This glazing thing is amazing. So as you can see, I watered it down. I used enough of the gloss medium. And all of a sudden, and now seeing that whitish thing coming down, I'm wondering if it would have been far better if I also counteracted with that glaze in the black. It would have been a good opposite of the tall, narrow piece. So I might add that. You can always tweak later, right? What would you do? I love to hear your comments. And look at that mauve made from that pink that I took away with the Posca marker. Pushing some of that white back is definitely helping improve it. So you can keep going from here. Sectioning that off, and then while you're sectioning it off, this shape appears, and that's the coolest thing. And I love my dots around these circles because it helps the eye climb up. Love that as a balancing. So a very narrow black line on the very far right, coming from the upper down to the white, would work. And I think I'm going to put that in. So here comes my orange. Love that orange. And now I'm just trying to balance this crazy page up. So then I don't know what happened to the pink. Yeah, I jumped ahead. It leaked. Crazy markers. No, that's just too powerful. So then I just let it blend in. It sort of adds a really nice tone. Matching a little bit of that on the bottom. Then I push that back a little more. Push that back. And need to work on that white right-hand side. So then I go like that instead. It brings the eye down, but it really needed to be pushed backwards with some black glazing. And my big marker, I don't know if I accidentally put some medium on it. I need to clean it up with some alcohol. It's not working that great. And what kind of markers do you like to use? I want to order some Sakura if that is it. The paint sticks and the pastels, I think the colors are stronger, better quality. What are your favorite drawing tools or pastels? Love to hear that. Yeah, I can see that if I'll probably show this on my Instagram and make a note of the change that I made, the alteration on the right. You see, because of the contrast of that square with the dots in it, there's too much contrast. So if I take that down, the eye will move down a bit better and it'll balance it up. So we will do that. Yeah, so now I'm just having fun with pastel, adding some more line. That leaks too. Stupid markers. Anyway, now it's, sort of cool. I know there's not a lot of green anywhere else, but whatever. It's fun. And that's what art journaling, this kind of art journaling, is about. I'm finding I'm learning a lot more this summer. And I didn't like that orange, so I just used a little bit of that glazing. Came in, still didn't discover or see. And there we are, everyone. So just checking around, seeing if anything else needs to go in here. Oh yeah, the orange pastel. It's a little stronger, definitely helps. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please continue watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and share. And have fun exploring, playing, and discovering your own. Don't forget to jump on the Facebook group, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video.